Alright, dear friends, on the mic, as usual, GG Play, the best at leveling up in the world of Forza Horizon. Today I'm going to talk about the new Forza Horizon 6 trailer. Let's see what the developers have added here. I'll explain a lot of points for those new to this franchise, and of course, we'll talk about the new graphics, physics, and other mechanics of Forza Horizon 6. Sit back, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss new news, and if you suddenly need to level up in Forza Horizon 5, the link to my website is in the description. First of all, I want to start with this magnificent trailer, just under 2 minutes long, and those who watch the trailer essentially don't know any of the innovations that will be added to Forza Horizon 6. After all, the real meat was in the developer.direct presentation, so I won't focus too much on the trailer. The main points will be shown later. You don't start as the festival's superstar. This is probably the key and most important point that the developers changed for Forza Horizon 6, namely the approach to the career. Now we'll have a sort of progression where we again have to prove that we are the festival champion, a leader, and so on. Initially, we'll be an ordinary newcomer with ordinary cars. Maybe or maybe not, but the most important thing is that this progression doesn't restrict movement across the map at all. The entire map will be available immediately. Drive around, do what you want. You don't have to start the career right away. Regarding the map, the developers haven't revealed its exact size yet. Whether it will be bigger than Mexico remains an open question, but what they did make clear is that the city will be 5 times larger. I don't know if that's a plus or a minus. With the same map size, a rather large city could really constrain the player and not let them feel the full scale of the world, like in Mexico. What the developers strongly emphasize is the seasonality of Japan. Here we'll have snow and rain and beautiful, bright, clear summer. Seasonal changes in Japan are widely celebrated in the culture. We've translated that into the game so you can see the world around you change as you. Next, they tell us about the atmospheric, cool, very large city they created. But here, I want to draw attention to how this Acura NSX takes the corner. I have over 2,500 hours just in the 5th Forza on Steam, and judging by these shots, you can say the developers focused on drift. But still, you have to understand that to achieve maximum authenticity for Japan, you need to create really cool drift physics. I've always welcomed the physics in the 4th and 5th games, and most likely I'll like the physics in the 6th Forza. What do you think about this? It'll be very interesting to read in the comments. New customizable garages, the perfect place for every player's home, and you can freely decorate the entire space, then invite friends to see the results. Regarding garages, it's a very nice gesture from the developers, because in the 5th Forza we had a huge number of useless, expensive houses that we bought for some reason, and we spent no time in them. And in the 6th Forza, they focused on the garage as a sort of leisure space, where we can tune cars, change the environment, basically add specific atmosphere. It reminds me of some Need for Speed games, where the garage was essentially the player's den, showing several of their tuned cars. You could also change the garage environment and generally interact with it. We are fully committed to keeping Forza Horizon the premier open-world driving game. That, in a nutshell, is the religion of the Forza Horizon franchise, and many people in the comments write that we need some incredibly cool career, some story, somewhere we need more tuning. First and foremost, it's a game about the player's interaction with the car and the world. Forza should have a huge number of cars, good graphics, and of course, a very cool location. Everything else is just bonuses. This is precisely the reason you'll have to buy a PlayStation Plus subscription. We never had activities like or similar to this. Players created their own convoys, sometimes could play in cooperative modes, for example rivals one-on-one, or gather their team and race on one track, getting the best lap time. But for random players, there wasn't really anything more in Forza. You see some track where guys are racing, you just join them and participate in the races. New cars in the open world. Download tuning. I don't understand why the developers didn't implement this in previous Forza games, but here it will be an in-game activity that absolutely anyone can use. And now, just a couple of words about Forza's availability in different regions, its pre-order, cost, and minimum system requirements. The pre-order started on Steam literally right after the developer direct. That was on January 22nd. The prices vary greatly by region. I managed to snag it on the first day for $56. Literally the next day, the price was raised to $84 for the maximum version with pre-order. Regarding the pre-order on Xbox, as far as I know, the situation is even direr. In some regions, Forza costs around €120. You'll agree that's not very pleasant, although I think you can change the region there too and find something cheaper. But again, I haven't looked into that yet. With the launch of the pre-order on Steam, they immediately rolled out the system requirements. And what can I say? There's nothing scary about them. Windows 10 is supported. You can play on a GTX 1050 on minimal settings. Forza is pretty relaxed about the processor. 16 gigabytes of RAM, and the only thing the developers will recommend is installing it on an SSD. Even though the current size of Forza on Steam is listed at about 100 gigabytes, I don't think that's the truth. After all, with all the add-ons, all the car packs, and the maximum premium version, Forza will likely weigh around 200 gigabytes. The same fifth game with DLC maps weighs 175, if not more. With the release of the sixth Forza, I'll definitely test it on my GTX 1050, 2 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and Ryzen 3300. That's the second setup I have, so gamers will definitely have something to do in the spring. And for those who want to get rare cars for Forza Horizon 5, you can find a link to me in the description.